GMB star begins furious feud with Jeremy Clarkson as she brands him piece of S*******. Good Morning Britain star Narinder Kaur was left red-faced after lashing out at Jeremy Clarkson, until she was corrected by fans. Good Morning Britain panelist Narinder Kaur has lashed out at Prime Video star Jeremy Clarkson in a foul-mouthed rant, but she was left red-faced after fans rushed to correct her. Yesterday, Jeremy tweeted at UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Karl Starmer says he's currently on the biggest ever trade mission to India. But that's not strictly accurate, is it? If you know, you know. A furious Narinder responded, is Jeremy actually comparing British colonization to Starmer's trade deal with India? Generations of Indians suffered and died under a regime that called itself a trading company. There's nothing witty about genocide and theft, Jeremy. You thick, arrogant piece of *****. However, it was quickly pointed out that the Clarkson's Farm founder looked to be simply making a jokey reference to the Top Gear India special episode, which saw him embark on a pretend trade mission along with his co-stars James May and Richard Hammond. In the 2011 episode, the Top Gear team opened a missive from the then Prime Minister David Cameron, which refused their request to go to India on an official mission, instead telling them to go and mend a fence in Mexico. David Cameron even appeared in the episode for a cameo, telling the team to stay away from India, advice they didn't heed. Narinder faced backlash on her X profile, with one writing, he's on about the Top Gear special. Another agreed, I'm pretty sure Jeremy is referring to the Top Gear India special? Somebody else said, pretty sure he's referring to the TG India special. Or, and just hear me out now, he was referencing the Top Gear India special? Crazy right considering the premise was the trio go to India on a trade mission. Hence he's saying YKYK, another added sarcastically. Good Morning Britain viewers were left stunned this week as a fiery new celebrity feud erupted between one of the show's most outspoken stars and TV heavyweight Jeremy Clarkson. What began as a few sharp remarks online spiraled into a full-blown war of words that has dominated headlines, social media feeds, and morning television chatter. According to insiders, the GMB presenter, known for her forthright opinions and no-nonsense approach, was absolutely livid after Clarkson made what she described as a disgusting and outdated comment during a recent podcast appearance. The former Top Gear host had been discussing the state of modern TV journalism when he took aim at what he called the shrill moralising of breakfast show presenters. Half of them seem to think they're the nation's conscience, Clarkson allegedly said. They cry over everything, shout about politics, and still expect people to take them seriously. It's laughable. While Clarkson didn't name names, fans immediately linked his remarks to Good Morning Britain, a show famous for its mix of hard-hitting interviews and emotional storytelling. And it didn't take long for one of GMB's biggest personalities to respond, with both barrels. A piece of work. Taking to social media shortly after Clarkson's comments went viral, the GMB star didn't hold back. In a blistering post that racked up thousands of likes within hours, she wrote, Jeremy Clarkson calling anyone else a hypocrite is rich beyond words. The man who made millions shouting over cars and insulting people for fun has the nerve to call others shrill? He's a piece of work, honestly. The post was followed by a string of supportive replies from viewers and fellow TV personalities who praised her for saying what everyone was thinking. However, others accused her of overreacting and starting drama for publicity, criticism that only seemed to fan the flames further. By the next morning, Good Morning Britain producers decided to address the elephant in the room live on air. As cameras rolled, the tension was palpable. Sitting alongside her co-host, the GMB star laughed off the controversy at first, but her tone quickly sharpened. Live TV showdown. I've been in this industry for decades, she began, fixing the camera with a knowing look. I've seen people like Jeremy Clarkson come and go. He's made a career out of putting others down, especially women, and somehow gets away with it because he wraps it all up as banter. Well, it's not funny anymore. Her co-host tried to interject with a joke about Clarkson's farm show, but she cut him off. This isn't about a tractor or a field or whatever he's doing now, she said firmly. This is about respect. You don't get to dismiss an entire generation of broadcasters just because they show emotion. Maybe if he tried empathy once in a while, people might actually like him. The monologue left the studio momentarily silent, and viewers watching at home flooded social media with reactions. Some praised her courage and conviction, while others argued she'd taken the bait. Clarkson, true to form, didn't stay silent for long. Clarkson's retort. Hours later, The outspoken presenter hit back in typical Clarkson fashion, with sarcasm and swagger. Writing in his newspaper column, he mocked what he called the latest outbreak of performative outrage. Apparently, I've been branded a piece of work by someone whose job it is to cry on cue between adverts for dishwasher tablets, he wrote. I must remember to send flowers. He went on to describe breakfast television as a never-ending therapy session for Middle England, suggesting viewers were better off watching Sheep than Sanctimony. Within minutes of publication, screenshots of his column were circulating online, and the feud was officially in full swing. And industry shock. The fallout has split fans right down the middle. On one side, supporters of the GMB host argue that Clarkson's remarks were sexist and rooted in outdated views of women in media. On the other, Clarkson's loyal followers insist he's simply exercising his trademark humor, the same blunt style that made him famous. Entertainment insiders, meanwhile, have described the clash as the juiciest showbiz spat of the year. One TV executive told the Mirror, "This is bigger than a ratings war. It's two completely different worlds colliding, the old-school, unapologetic Clarkson brand of television versus the more empathetic, socially aware style that modern presenters embody." Even other celebrities have begun taking sides. One of the GMB host's close friends, a well-known actress, tweeted, "Clarkson's been dining out on the same tired joke since 1998. It's time someone told him where to park his ego." But not everyone in showbiz agreed. A comedian who once worked with Clarkson commented, "He's rough around the edges, sure, but that's his shtick. People know what they're getting. It's entertainment, not diplomacy." Behind the scenes at GMB. Back in the Good Morning Britain studios, sources say producers are privately thrilled by the attention, even as they publicly deny fueling the feud. "Of course we're not encouraging it," one insider said with a wink. "But let's just say the ratings were very healthy this week." According to reports, the star has been inundated with media requests since the spat broke, but she's treading carefully. "She's standing her ground," a friend explained. "She's not going to apologize for calling him out. But she also doesn't want this to turn into a circus." Still, those who know her best say she's been genuinely hurt by the backlash from some corners of the internet. "It's one thing to disagree," said the source. "It's another to send the kind of vile messages she's been getting. She's tough, but she's human. What's next?" Whether the feud fizzles out or escalates further remains to be seen. Clarkson has a new series of Clarkson's Farm in production, while the GMB star is expected to continue her regular hosting duties, though producers are reportedly bracing for fireworks if the topic comes up again on air. Meanwhile, social media continues to buzz with speculation about who will have the last word. "This is the culture clash Britain didn't know it needed," one fan joked on X, formerly Twitter. Clarkson versus GMB, the battle of the breakfast table and the barn. In the midst of all the chaos, one thing is clear. The row has touched a nerve about what modern broadcasting should be, and who gets to define it. As one industry veteran put it, Jeremy Clarkson built his empire on being outrageous. But audiences have changed. They want authenticity, compassion, and real conversation, not just clever insults. Maybe this feud isn't just about two personalities. Maybe it's about a changing era in British television. For now, both stars seem to be standing firm, and Britain is watching, mugs of tea in hand, to see who blinks first.